American Psycho is less relevant than ever, and its very prediction of its future and even present irrelevancy is itself irrelevant. As the final monologue repeats what the film has already said, and repeats what will be said about it, and repeats what it is saying, quote, there are no more barriers to cross. But even after admitting this, there is no catharsis. No new knowledge can be extracted from my telling. This confession has meant nothing. Unquote. Has meant less than nothing. The movie in contemporary culture has become a cave painting and ancient artifact. As with all of pop culture, it has frozen and died on the spot in the exact position it once stood with vigor, with something to say. Now, what has it become? An effortless video essay to get views, saying all the right points, but points are made in such a way that has effectively been neutralized, like saying terrorism bad, post 9/11, misogyny and Sigma male grinds it bad, post American Psycho. The film is pop culture because it doesn't present an alternative. It is an affirmation of what already exists. And even that point itself is now just another repetition. It is comforting to experience this type of media. And it's not because we're desensitized to violence, it's because we know we are. We know we are desensitized to societal critique. And we know that we know. Watching the movie confirms exactly that, and our sense of self becomes stronger rather than deconstructed. And no new knowledge can be extracted, no older knowledge, and no future knowledge. Because this piece of culture represents a non entity, because it is etched into stone. There's nothing new to say, nothing for me to commentate on, not because someone else has already said it, but because capitalism itself has already said it. This confession has meant less than nothing, has meant a reinforcement of the system. And yet, for a little more, let me indulge myself, let me embrace capitalist realism and analyze the film nonetheless. The film notes that reality doesn't matter. What happened is imagined, and what is imagined happened. In a world where you control imaginary capital and where imaginary people are subjugated under you and where you can only interact with that imaginated subjugated peoples unable to even then is not imagination reality? Is this not the hyperreal where simulation is all there is? If Patrick Bateman was to represent capitalism, then nothing he experiences is real. He is an endless purgatory where cogs keep turning, pistons keep firing, all for no other reason than to keep the machine running. There is only the experience of himself over and over, for capitalism is unable to experience anything other than itself. Patrick Bateman does not experience anything real, he experiences something realer than real, his own constructed reality. And the other characters confirm exactly this. I do believe Paul Allen was killed, but I also believe nobody cares. And I'm not saying they don't care about the person, no, they don't care about the name. And they don't care about the name because everyone's name is the same in the upper echelon, because reality breaks down and reconstructs itself according to the flow of imaginary capital, because what happened is imagined and what imagined happened. It's not that the other difference, it's because it literally never happened. The name doesn't register. Capitalism itself doesn't care because it is psychotic, it is mentally detached, and reality folds in on itself. The system speaks through people like Patrick Bateman, and that's the analysis I wanted to make, right? But I know it to be ultimately unoriginal, experienced 1,000 times before, negated decades before even my birth. A wholly uninspired, mundane Baudrillard analysis. No great quotes can be extracted. No thought-provoking sentence lasts, and ultimately, there is no more art to be experienced. The corpse of American Psycho has been hung high upon the scaffold to warn others to create the spectacle of capital's power. Its rotting limbs merely tells us of the process of the torture and nothing of its original content. Its story, indecipherable, unrecognizable, and mangled, holes, contorted in an unsettling position. What is left but the spectacle? Watch, this video is gonna get more views because mainstream topic, minimalist thumbnail I spent 2 fucking minutes on, and because how short it is. It's 3 a.m. on a school night, man. I'm probably gonna be late. Fucking first worlder complains about first world problems. Fuck this, man.